So thank you, Usha, for coming on the podcast. Thank you for reaching out. I must do a disclaimer. I've got two little puppies in the background, so you might hear little squealing going on now and again, or little squelch of pain as they fight each other. But hopefully, we can get through without any noise. So
Okay,
Usha,
no
so
issues.
so my first question to all my guests is, where are you on that life journey of yours?
On my life journey, I am at a very comfortable and a very strange place, I would say. Comfortable because I have achieved what I wanted to. If I can tell about myself, I have two adult boys. I am a mother, wife, as well as a girl who has still not achieved what she wanted to achieve as a woman or a girl. But other than that, my life has been very comfortable so far. I've been living in 20 years in Qatar and working, and I've got whatever one could dream of: great kids, great house, great husband. So I am at that point of my life where everything is fine.
Fine? Everything is fine?
Yes, everything is not even fine. I would say it is great.
Okay. So, well, take us back on this journey, this amazing journey. How have you been able to keep it all together, and how did you end up being a life coach, executive coach?
Sure. I grew up in New Delhi, India. I was born and brought up there till I think my early 30s. I stayed in Delhi. I got married there. I did my MBA, and then I went into development consultancy. That's how my work journey started. And once we came, and my husband got a job in Qatar actually. So I followed him that time when I came to Qatar 2006. I had two toddlers with me. One was about to be 5 and one was like 8 months. But I continued my work life journey here also. I got into HR and I continued working as a recruitment specialist, which I do till date. And I think around 2015, 16, I was like, the work became mundane. Every time, like from the beginning of my journey, I don't like mundane work. Although I did my MBA in finance, I never went into banking or any such jobs because I hate mundane work. So that's why recruitment fascinated me because I get energized by talking to people. That's what my energy is, or that's how I get motivated to go to work every day. That I will talk to new people, I would know about new things, I will learn about new things. So around 2016, 17, I realized, okay, now even recruitment has become mundane because how many organizations can I go to and implement new systems, make uh, recruitment easy because everybody in Qatar feels recruitment is the most difficult task, whereas I don't feel so. So for many organization work, I streamlined systems, I streamlined things, and then it was a plug and play. So during that time, I realized I need to do something else. So then I thought of training, and then somehow I landed upon coaching. I did my coaching course from Coach for Life US. I traveled to New Delhi, did a 4-day training program followed by an online program. And then this was in year 2019. That fascinated me a lot. And my motto there was actually to coach myself first and then get on to coach others. So that's how my coaching journey started. And since then, I haven't looked back, although I work full time currently also, but still I am doing coaching for individuals and people whoever is feeling they need to get more from life, not the routine mundane things, but something is not being achieved. That is how I do. And my coaching philosophy is about becoming a better person rather than doing things which would help you. It's called Fulfilment methodology, and it is by Coach for Life organization, which was founded by Peter J. Reading. So that's how I got into coaching. And in the past 1 year, because I got diagnosed with breast cancer last year. So coaching helped me again. I thought I would be my coach, and I helped myself to come out of that. So that's how it is. In a
So,
long way to answer your short question.
hey, no, no, that's your journey. No, I appreciate how you took us on that journey. W- there's a few questions that came up from the journey that you've been on. What did you learn from doing the coaching course about yourself?
About myself, a major thing I learned that we all have limiting beliefs, and we keep on believing in those limiting beliefs. But once I got introduced to coaching, I realized that I can be whatever I want to be. Okay, all of us have two parts which are very important. That's what I do in my coaching also with my clients and with myself also. See, we all live in our minds. So we believe in our whatever our mind tells us. And also as a part of as a human, we always do things. And more so, we always, and my generation or people who have grown up in 90s and 80s, they always believed that doing things would get you better. Like we were always taught work hard, you will get better. Work smart, you will get better. So we, in all this thing, we forget that there is a body or there is a spirit living within all of us which is free to be whatever it wants to be. It's only our mind which makes us believe. I'm not saying all this because I've written a book. Obviously, I've read some books and I have realized these things myself. So that is why I wanted to go to coaching, that because I could break up my limiting beliefs and I could believe I can be whatever I want to be, age, illness, everything is just an excuse and just a number. Although as a kid, we all believe in that, but somewhere due to our conditioning, we forget that. So that is what my philosophy is, that we can become a better person. We just need to know how to be there.
And what kind of limiting beliefs did you find?
For myself, a number of limiting beliefs, not that I have overcome all of them. Some of them still come back to me. But I would give you an example, like every other person living in Qatar or in any country. When I turned 50, I thought I would never get a job because I am beyond that age. But 3 months before my 50th birthday, I got a current job where I'm working now in a semi-government organization, and I'm still continuing. And second limiting belief was broken last year when I got diagnosed with breast cancer. I thought now I would not be able to work. I would not be able to continue a job. But nothing of that sort happened. And I was very honest with my employer that I took first 2 months off because I didn't know which journey I am going to take. So I took 2 months off, and after that, I continued working throughout my chemo, throughout my radiation. Obviously, for the surgery, I had to take 3 weeks break. That was required for my body to heal. But since then, I have been working, and I feel I am more ready now than I was before. And I'm not even afraid of anything because now nothing can deter me. So
And
that's
wh-
how I feel. Those
and
were
where
the
do you
limiting beliefs I had
and where do you think those limiting beliefs come from?
from living in our mind. That's what I have realized. I have read one or two books, and obviously, as a coach, I also have my coaches. They have helped me. I wouldn't say that I was able to achieve it all by myself or all in one day. Obviously, it was a work which I did on myself, and I'm still a work in progress.
Hmm.
We, as a human being, we learn every day. So I had to unlearn a lot of things apart from learning a lot of things. So, yes, this is how these limiting beliefs come from, because we condition our mind like that.
Well, it's funny you say they unlearn. So we've learnt it from somewhere. We've learnt it from, as I always say, learnt it from our parents, the community, the school, and the
Yes,
experiences that we had as a child, and we learned that, and then we ran with it, thinking that these beliefs were they were set in stone, and that's the way it will be, or the way it's going to be.
true.
So yes, I'm just curious. You said you were in finance. Why did you study finance? What was it about finance that you wanted to do?
See, I was always, I would say, not so studious, but I was a bright person. I numbers always fascinated me. I was never afraid of numbers. Was Maths and science were my favorite subjects when I was in school. So, and when I was doing my MBA, and I have a very weird background, I can tell you about it, not only finance. I've done my BSc in chemistry, and then I went to do MBA in finance. And finally, started when I came to Qatar. I started working in HR. So it's most of
Yeah,
the weird thing.
how does that work out? If you're interested in numbers, etc., why did you move away from finance?
See, I did finance because when I was graduating from my MBA, finance field was on a peak, on its peak. In India, that time, NBFCs, these non-banking financial corporations, that was on boom. This was way back in 95, 96. So stock market was going up. India was opening up as a country to the outer world, and investments and finance were the big thing that time. So I thought, okay, I'll do an MBA in finance. But then after doing my MBA, when I went in the job market, I didn't like the finance jobs I was being offered. They were mainly in banking and NBFCs, and all of them needed the mundane work, as I said. So after doing my MBA in finance, I realized that this is not something I can sustain for long term. I need to be in a place, in a consultancy or place where I can learn different things. So I joined a consultancy rather than a banking job. And that consultancy was a development consultancy, which worked on major projects for World Bank, Asian Development Bank, and many government and bilateral funded projects. There, my finance background came in handy because obviously, as a consultant, you are playing with numbers in, day out. And I learned a lot about people. And because I was working, and what more so funny, I was asked to work on business development for my company. Although I didn't like it at the beginning, but I enjoyed it a lot later on. And there also number came in handy because I was writing proposals, whether it was technical or financials. So my finance background always helped me. And even after coming here, when I was in HR, my financial background amazingly helped me because I could do all the analytics, and everybody who comes to HR usually does not love numbers, but I loved them. So I had no issues. And my weird chemistry background gave me an analytical mind, which I use all the time, always, which has helped me. So a lot of people call it a weird background, but for me, those are my strengths.
Well, what I'm hearing is a lot from the head, and how, it took you on a journey into finance, and then it took you on a journey into the other areas with chemistry as well. Where do you think the heart has played in your life?
Heart has played always. I have never stayed in a one company for more than 6, 7 years. I would say maximum, or 3, 4 years maximum, because suddenly once I get on to play on with my head and get on to these things and I achieve something, then I feel okay, my job here is over because this is what I have done. I'm not happy here. I'm not realizing it. So I keep on changing companies. But other than that, my heart plays is that I'm still, I don't think before taking many decisions. If I decided I don't want to work, I'll not work. If I decided I want to change my job, however well paying it is, I would leave it, doesn't matter, because I have a faith on myself that I can restart, rebuild anytime because it's me. So, and obviously heart plays a lot in other day-to-day decisions. And I'm not afraid of doing anything. So I think if you're working from your mind, you will always be afraid one would be following a path. This is how my theory is.
Well, the way I see it, the head is, as I said, programmed by the programmers when we're at a young age, and it's designed to put a roof over our head, food on the table, money in our pocket. And it does a great job. As you have stated, the journey that you've been on is been very much head driven with regards to where it's taken you. You know, it's done a job, it's achieved what it wanted to achieve, and then it's got like, okay, next one. Where's the next thing that I need to go on to? And I have a lot of clients, and I have a lot of callers on my live that are in that headspace. But then it gets to a point where it's just like either something in life happens, or they get to a point where they feel stuck because their head is just like, well, I'm doing the best I can, or the head just wants to, has found a comfort zone where it's just like, okay, this is comfortable. This will do me. But the heart has been forgotten about. The heart hasn't been on this journey. And it's when you reflect on the journey, and also when you even go back to when you're a kid and you tune into the heart and you listen to the heart, that you hear a shift in how people are showing up. And it's looking at, okay, look, the head has done a great job. It's got you to where you are now, but you feel stuck. You feel like you're on the daily routine of a treadmill, et cetera, et cetera. So now that we've heard from the heart, now let's have a look at where you are in on your position and see how we can introduce the heart in the role that you're doing. Because a lot of people, they go in with their head and they probably can do the job with their eyes closed. Um, and it's looking at, it's literally, okay, how can I introduce into the workplace my heart? Because there's a shift in energy when we work from our head. All the energy goes to our head and nothing is shared to our body. And I always have this vision of this head with little legs pulling this lifeless body along. But once we get the heart involved on this life journey, then you can really feel the shift in energy, because now the energy is flowing from head to toe. And it's getting people to look at, okay, the head's got you to where you are now, but now we're introducing the heart. This is a real power source. Now you can lift your head and look at opportunities within your workplace, because we're not going to give this up, because the work has already been done from the head. But now we can see opportunities within the workplace, because a lot of people feel, I'm unhappy, I'm stuck in my work, I need to go and work somewhere else. But they're doing the same. They're just literally allowing the head to dictate where we're going next without communicating with the heart. And it sounds like that the head, it did what it wanted to do. And then it was just like, okay, I've done my bit. Now, what's the next thing? Where's the next shiny object? Where's the next thing? And, you've been on this continuous. And
True.
that's why I asked, where's the heart? Yes, I heard that the heart has been used for looking after you, family, etc., etc. But in your life's journey, and maybe you found it in life coaching, because there had to be some reflection, there had to be some deep listening from within.
Yeah. So, how heart has played, to answer your question, last year when I got diagnosed with cancer. Okay. So, I got to experience many, many things, not because I would say that I was someone amazing. No, just because it's a life's way of teaching me. So that's where my heart, to some extent, my heart played, because I realized that by reflecting that I cannot predict my life. I cannot do nothing is in my hand. Rather, I would quote like the way it came to my life, it changed me completely. Firstly, at that point, I was hating my job. I was looking for the next thing. But when cancer came in, somehow I started loving my job more than I was before. Why? Because it gave me a purpose. I found that purpose. And till date, I continue working. Why? Because I realized I go to work not because I want to work or I want to earn money. Yes, that is something which follows. But I go to work again because I want to connect with people
Mm,
and I want to get my heart is yearning for meeting people and talking to people. And these people are not necessarily people I work with. No, these are maybe my colleagues who are in unrelated departments, but somehow they are connected with heart. And because I am a coach, what happens is I cannot shut off my coach energy at all. Even when I am in a conversation with someone over a lunch, over a breakfast, or even in a corridor, I would be making such comments or such things that people love that. So, and they will continue that conversation. So that is what is where heart comes into mind. And that is how you rightly said that coaching helps me connect to those people. And initially in my recruitment career, how I connected was also in the similar manner because I always connected with people. Why I like recruitment, or I would say for my career, I'm not saying I am great, but I have been successful in doing my job, is because I never saw those people as numbers I have to recruit. I always thought that there is a person behind who's looking for a job, and without any motive of mine, I would help them connect to each other. Like just a connection between an organization and a person. That is what helped me go further. Recently, I read a book, a part of my coaching course I'm doing on business mastery. It is by, I forgot the name of the book, sorry.
no worries.
It talks about alignment, the map of consciousness. That was the book I had read. And in the map of consciousness, they talk about 10 steps. If you do any process with that, you would be in alignment with you. And I realized that when I did my recruitment work, I followed some of those steps. So that is why it always gave me a kind of solace. Like even during my cancer, during my treatments, during chemo and all that, when I had the maximum brain fog, I could still talk to candidates when I went back to recruitment, and nobody could knew that from my voice or from anything. Obviously, they didn't see me because I talked to people on phone. So none of them could realize that I had such illness. Only if I come on camera, if they see me without hair, they will realize this. Otherwise, they won't. So all that was possible because I was working from heart, and somewhere everything was in alignment. So does that answer your question, or I went away?
Absolutely. No, what I hear is that realization or where you were at when you got diagnosed with cancer and how you've embraced that coming from the heart and how that's changed your whole um, being when you show up for work and you feel it. But what I heard with the HR was that, all right, the head was leading the way and the heart was there in the background without you realizing what was going on. And I when I reflect back on my journey, I see the same pattern is that my head was like, yeah, I've got to have a successful business. I've got to do this, got to do that. Head, head, head. But in the background, my heart was literally, okay, we've got to create a nice environment. We've got to allow people to be the best versions that they can be. We've got to have that energy that people feel it when they walk into the room. Even though I wasn't really focused on that because my head was like, no, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. But this was working in the background. But I really didn't appreciate, well, not I didn't really appreciate it, but I allowed it to show up, but not really focusing on it fully. But on reflection, it was just like, wow, you did an amazing job. But then when coaching was introduced, and also life's scenarios happened where I was in that deep dark hole of depression, that I really tuned into this. And this wasn't around to help me. It was the heart that literally went, you're going through a difficult situation, depression,
Yes.
just like you. You're faced with a difficult situation, cancer, and we really lean in deep because that's the thing that is going to help us pull through. And that's what I tuned into when I was going through depression. Something inside of me went, you've always been there helping people, but you've never had the tools to do it properly. Go and learn the tools. Go and learn life coaching. And it was because I'd always been on the sidelines of people that had been life coaches, trained as life coaches, but never really, I've experienced it when they were training, and I thought, no, this isn't for me. But there was something inside of me that was curious. So when I was in that deep dark hole of depression, and something said, you need to learn life coaching, it was life changing for me. It changed my life because I learned so much about me. And then it was just like, wow. And the energy shift as well, because now the heart is just literally open. You feel the shift. You feel this incredible force behind you. And then, like I've spoken to other coaches, that one coach said, when you step out of the way, when you push the ego away, when you uh, move away the programming of everything that you've had, and you just let yourself be in this flow state, it's just an amazing feeling. And you hit the nail on the head on everything that you said. So thank you for that, Usha. I really appreciate it. Um,
Thank
there
you.
there is one thing you did say, is that you're not in control of your life. How does that how does that relate to now where you are and how you move forward? Do you not set yourself goals? Do you not have a vision of, like, a destination of what you're working towards?
Uh, Thanks for asking that question. What I meant was not having a control that, yes, as you said, when we live in our head, we feel, oh, everything is in my control. I was that person till last year, even after being a coach for, like, I started my coaching journey in 2019, even after 2020, and knowing about what it is to be becoming and being and doing and all that. Yes, I did that for my clients, but I feel it was still at a mental level with superficial things. But after my last year's experience, I experienced it firsthand. When, like you said, you had depression, so you went into your heart. Same way, after last year, I realized, and in such situation, your mind stops working. That's what I experienced.
Mm,
And then you realize deep down that I am alive. And somewhere your heart tells you, that's what my heart told me, nothing is going to happen, because obviously doctors, everyone around kept reassuring. And somehow I had this belief in my, not in my mind, I can say now, because it was not there, it was in my heart, that I would be alive and I would remain alive to see life beyond. Like, I never even for a split second I thought that I would die or I would not be there. So that belief came back into my heart. And then I realized nothing is in my control. In my control, what is it? A present day and a present hour, and how to live it. So that's how I started living my life. Okay, today I'm fine. This is what I have to do. I will do. And during this time, what I realized, that staying in present moment is the most important thing. So I enjoyed whatever I could. And then I started reflecting and started using journaling actually as a way of expressing my feelings, because obviously For me, it was all about medications, which were making my mind really fogged, or whatever you call it.
Mm.
It is real. But then I was getting a lot of anger also, which I had to process. So I started journalizing. That's what helped me. So that's how I came back to my body and my heart. And then I realized all my fears were gone. I was not feared whether I will have my job or not. I was not feared whether I will have my life or not. I was just worried about one thing, that I need to just be here, whether it was my chemo, whether it was my work, or whether it was spending time with family. That's it. And one more thing cancer and all these drugs do to you is you can't eat much, or you can't enjoy the food as you enjoy or relish it. So you just eat, you just get that thing, okay, I have to eat to survive. That has helped me a lot, definitely. If I look at the positive side of it, I have become the leaner person I always wanted to be. So that's how I look at it.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love what you said. I love the fact that you were open and honest with regards to how you were coaching before this all happened, that you were just going through the motions. But then when you were faced with cancer and you leaned into the heart, then it was a completely different experience. And I see that with a lot of coaches, is that they just go through the motion. There's no energy behind it. There's nothing from here. It's just the head going, yeah, I can ask the questions. I can, go through the motions. But your client feels it. Maybe they don't know why they feel it, but they feel it because there isn't any share of energy. There isn't a heart to heart connection. And I think that's very important when you're working with clients. And what was the other thing? Oh, and then just being in the moment. That is so powerful. You are literally appreciating each day as it comes. You
Yes.
appreciate the beauty around you. Your mind isn't lost in the future, and your mind isn't lost in the
The
past.
past.
You are just present. And that is powerful. That is just that is so good for you, but it's also good for everyone else around you because you are just appreciating the love, the appreciation, the people that are important to you, as if it is your last day on this earth. You are just, because that's all we've got control over, is just taking care of ourselves today and how we prepare for ourselves tomorrow. That's it. We can't predict the future. We can't change the past.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
no. Well, thank you, Usha. So, is there anything that you might be working towards? Is there any kind of, because I have a vision and I'm working towards it, and you see you are part of that journey now. Is there anything that you are moving towards?
Yes, definitely. I'm moving towards being a coach, executive leadership coach. But I am moving towards that. I am actively working on myself. Obviously, I am actively working. I'm doing a course at this moment called Business Mastery course for whole of this year. That course actually teaches me not how to be remaining in my heart, and how to make sure that whatever I want to say, whether it is marketing, whether it is dealing with my clients, I say it with my heart, and how I practice every day those remaining in my heart and remaining in my body and getting away from my mind. So,
Mm.
yes, that is there. And my vision is to definitely be an executive leadership coach and a trainer. At the moment, I am working full time, but side by side, I am trying to establish myself as an executive leadership coach, because I have learned a lot about these life situations, being a resilient person. And I've seen, when I reflected back and looked at my life, I see that I've always been that resilient person. I never let anything come across in my life's way, whether it was small illnesses, or I always had these posture issues because of working on computers for long hours. So I never let anything of them stop me from being a mother or being a working woman or whatever life things, or even enjoying my life, going out. I never thought, okay, I have these shoulder issues, arm issues, I shouldn't go on a roller coaster. No, I would go if I want to.
Mm,
So, yes, my vision is to be an executive leadership coach and a trainer, because that's what I want to do till I am alive, because I feel I have a I have something which I can offer to the world. I can show them how to be positive, how to stay present, and all your life issues would be gone, and how not to get, once we stop losing the control, things get better.
mm. Beautiful. So, how can people find you?
They can find me through my LinkedIn. I have my LinkedIn account. It's Usha Nagrani is my full name. So that's how they can find me. I live in Doha, and I have a Instagram page also with the same name, Usha.Nagrani or Usha Nagrani as a full thing. I have those two Instagram accounts, and I keep writing regularly on LinkedIn about my life journey and how they can approach me. And I have a website also, uh, same with my full name, www.ushanagrani.com. So that's how people can approach me.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Usha, for taking the time out to be here, to allow us to walk beside you on this amazing life journey of yours. And we wish you all the success in the future. And
Thank
please
you.
come back anytime that you have a milestone to shout out about.
Sure, definitely. And I would just like to give all your listeners a thing which I read somewhere, and I did write a post about it, that cancer is not a full stop, it's just a comma. So, for any life situation we feel, always remember there is no full stop till somewhere up decides that.
Beautiful. Thank you for that wisdom.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Well, thank you, Usha, again. And thank you for the audience for listening and watching. And we look forward to catching up with you same time next week. All the best. Bye bye.